Welcome everybody to the Crimson 15 podcast. I am your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA.
And this is our review for episode 11 of the Orville New Dimensions. Yeah. And the search continues for a bad episode because this is another great one.
Oh yeah, it's excellent.
Right off the top, just at the beginning, if you haven't seen the episode, go watch it. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're big into the science stuff.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of techno-babble. Just it reminded me so much of how Trek used to be.
Exactly.
Where they'll figure out ways to like, oh, if we do this and, triangulate this and do that and... It's cool.
There was even a Star Trek Next Generation that was like this when it came to beings that they ran into. So that's kind of cool to even have that kind of going for it.
And to get into the episode in classic the Orville, it starts out with the joke. Mm-hmm. You see it looks like a little soiree, like a little buffet situation, and people are walking, talking, having a good time. And I'm like, okay, what's the funny? Something funny is gonna happen. Then you see Lamar and Lamar. They're sitting there looking at Yampit. They're like. Looking around, and that's the same alien guy from the elevator. It's like, oh, what are you guys looking at? Oh, we took a piece of Yampit, we put him in the buffet. Oh, he hasn't noticed it yet. So they put him in the food where other people can
basically
eat. And so they're like, that's not a funny joke, that's an awful joke.
Yeah, exactly.
So Yampit gets out of there and he goes to go see Dr. Finn. He's like, and she's like, oh, this, you're not just here to bother him. He's like, no, I don't feel right, like there's a piece of me missing,
Yeah.
And literally there was a piece of him missing. And she scans him and everything. He's like, yeah, I don't know where it's at. I kind of feel like it's in a dark place. And then Bortus walks in and he's like, oh, I'm having a stomach ache.
And she's like, wait a minute, your stomach's indestructible. How can you have any problems?
This is a guy who ate cactuses.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's scanning him and realizes, oh man, he ate a piece of
Yeah, he ended up in some cake.
They put him in some dessert thing and he ended up eating the dessert and he was in it. And then Yamper's like, well, why the heck are you eating a piece of me? Like he's going, Bortus like, I didn't do it on purpose. And they're like, well, we got to get it out of you. Yeah. And I thought, well, maybe they have to, extract it. And it's like, oh, if you just let me go get it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awful.
You gotta pick a hole. Okay, my mouth. Okay. That's what we're doing.
It's going from the top and from the bottom. You get to choose, right?
Yeah.
So he just, goes into his throat and, picks it out. And then it's all done. And Dr. Finn's like, okay, this is enough of this weirdness for me. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, guys, go, please.
So then that's how this episode starts again. Like in classic, there's always a funny scene, and that was a pretty funny scene.
Yeah, because he found out it had to be Lamar, and Lamar must have did this to me because they're just pranksters.
They're always doing pranks.
So
and what usually doesn't happen in the show, they're in Kelly's talking to them saying, guys, didn't you think for a second that this wasn't funny and this is actually was kind of was gonna make him irritated because you took a piece of him. Imagine if someone took a piece of your toe.
Exactly.
So they're like, oh, okay, we're sorry. And then she's like, oh, it's gonna be reprimands into your record. And then she's looking through the records and she's looking through Lamar's records and she's like, oh my goodness, what's this? And then that's when you get your first commercial break. And I'm thinking, what could it be?
We didn't know.
I'm like, I couldn't think it was something negative, but that's what I really like about the Orville. Every time there's a break or a commercial break, they always get you hooked in to want to come back.
Oh yeah, commercial. Always.
They do it every time. This episode they do 4 times.
Oh yeah.
So Kelly talks to the captain. And she's like, here, look at this. And he's looking at the thing. He's like, whoa, is this accurate? Yeah. She's like, yeah, I double checked it, and I guess
Lamar's kind of a genius.
He's like a genius.
Yeah.
Super smart. He's at the top of his class and everything. They're like. He's kind of like a goofball. He's the helmsman. He does his job well, but he doesn't show any aspirations of being smart.
No.
And then, Kelly's really pushing for him to, step up and maybe give him some more tasks and stuff. And then Captain Mercer's like, well, if he hasn't asked for it.
Yeah.
I can't just, force things on him, but then I guess Kelly's trying to give him that push to be more.
Direction.
And then we started thinking, why hasn't he? Yeah. There has to be a reason. The whole episode, I'm thinking, well, if you really are that smart, why not let it shine a little bit,
exactly.
Right? But, he's such a laid-back guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, you see that in all the way that he acts and everything. So, this episode was a showcase for him. It really was.
Basically, yeah.
Even though it didn't really feel it was going to be that way, it kind of became.
As the episode goes along.
So much the character growth for him. A lot. We learn a lot about him and everything. Then that's when they, because they're during this whole thing. I call it warp, it's quantum
drive, yeah.
They hit an anomaly.
Yeah.
And it kind of causes a little ruckus. What's happening? And they basically kind of say hitting a pothole in the road.
Yeah.
So okay, let's scan all the things. Was there any damage or anything? To the
ship, yeah.
And so they're like, okay, Isaac, since Isaac technically is the smartest person on the ship, go scan the area that hit the thing, see if there's anything wrong. And Kelly's like, oh, take Lamar with you.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone's like, what? Like, even Lamar's like, why do you want me to go? Yeah, you could be, you know, helpful and the thing. So she's trying to get him, push him.
And then Mercer's like, why are you doing this, basically? You know, you should be pushing him.
And here's the thing. And she kind of did it in front of everyone, and it's kind of like that thing, like, oh, I guess we have to go with it now.
Yeah.
But I guess Kelly has, you know, those are her instincts to kind of like jump and push people.
Well, and also in the beginning of the episode, the chief engineer leaves the ship.
Oh yeah. He was in a couple episodes. I remember looking at the IMDb when we were trying to figure out everyone's names. Like, oh, he has less episodes than everyone because he leaves the ship.
He leaves the ship. Yeah.
That was Newton. I believe his name was the bigger guy. So he ends up leaving. So there's an empty
vacancy
slot for a head engineer.
Yeah.
And then Kelly's kind of thinking, hey, Lamar's super smart. He has all the pieces to make a great head of engineering. He just doesn't have the drive for it. Yeah. So she's trying to put him in those situations to see if he can rise to the occasion.
And the Mercer's like, wait a minute, Yapet's the one who should be
he's next in line.
Yeah.
If you want to go by seniority, you know, like he's the next person up. So they're going to go, and this is kind of fun. You see Dr. Finn's kids again. Like, oh, hi, Isaac, because they kind of see him as like that uncle, you know?
Exactly.
And of course, Isaac's talking to him, and of course, he's mean to them, but in the only way that Isaac can be mean to them. They're like, oh, can we help? No, you won't be any use to us or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because it's such a cold, but he's not being mean on purpose.
No, it just says, it's my attitude. He's a machine. He gets in robots, always sees things. And they want to take him to the simulator to play dragons.
Just some Slay the Dragons or something. I want to see that. That'd be fun. But then Lamar's like, oh, geez, you know, why don't you just stuff him in a locker like a bully or whatever? And then Isaac's like, okay, you guys can come along, just don't get in the way. Yeah. So they get there, and Yampit's like, what the heck is he doing here? Because he still has that, because of everything that prank they played on him. He's like, well, what's he doing here? And then Isaac's like, oh, Commander Kelly told me to bring him along. He's going to help us with this. So they're going around, they're scanning. There seems to be no issues or whatever. Because I guess it was an unoccupied room, so no one was in there, so no one got hurt. But then one of the boys notices that the plant's dead.
Oh yeah,
they're like, oh wow, I guess that anomaly that they hit must have caused something to kill this plant.
Yeah, who knows? What was it? Why would it have happened?
Yeah, like if it was just a normal kind of like technically quote unquote a pothole, it wouldn't have done something like that. So this is like we're starting to get that. Oh, there's what's going on here? There has to be something with that anomaly that's not normal. If an anomaly can be normal, right?
Anyway, yeah.
But then, they just start thinking about it. They talk to Dr. Finn. Oh, since plants are living life forms, you can look at it. Mm-hmm. And then they have the cellular degeneration and all that. Yeah. So they're trying to figure it out. And, I forgot to mention that it did knock out their warp drive.
Yeah, the
quantum drive. Sorry, I apologize.
It's fine. Hey, we all accept it. Hey, the perils of Star Trek are going to be there.
They're going to keep happening. So that's why they're just kind of study this thing, because that's like a classic Trek thing.
Yeah.
Well, anomaly, go study it. Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff that's missing from other science fiction, especially in Discovery. Every time there was something sciencey, it'd be underplayed.
Yeah, in other words, done in a condescending way.
Yeah, and like they were smart people, but they were like jerks about it. This one, people are smart and they're coming up with cool theories and ideas, and they're all working as a team.
Yeah.
Even though Yampit's kind of irritated at
that's what makes it funny.
Like, how come he's leading the team and not me?
Yeah, he goes to complain to Mercer about it.
That's later in the episode.
Yeah, that's funny.
So they're starting to think, maybe there's something more to this, and then they're studying it, and then that's when Lamar starts to see that, hey, this isn't just a pothole, this is a doorway. Yeah. And we're thinking, oh, cool, a multiple dimensions type situation, and we get to see another alien race.
Yeah,
they're like these. They're coming into the area and they're going to run into that.
I kind of seen them as a cross between like a junkyard and like a Ferengi.
Yeah,
type. That's what they look
like.
They're
kind of gross.
Gross, yeah, kind of.
Because even Malloy was like, oh, these guys, I hate these guys. And they're like, Mercer contacts their ship. Hey, there's an anomaly out here. Don't run into it. It could damage your ship.
But he thinks, oh, what are you doing?
And he's like eating food. And it's
all over his stomach. It's so gross.
And I guess he speaks his language. I guess the universal translators don't work on their language. Mm-hmm. And then Mercer's like, well, what did he just say? Then I was like, oh, he told you can shove it up here. He's like, okay, don't finish that.
Yeah, you don't have to finish it.
And then he's like, well, my scanners don't pick up anything, so whatever, just leave us alone. They enter the anomaly, and it has a cool effect. Like as they're entering it, they're like getting smaller, and then when they exit, they start growing again. It's a really cool looking effect.
Oh, it was awesome. And I like the way this race ship looked. It was very boxy. I like the way it looked. It looked, like I said, like a junker ship.
Oh, it looks like they just get lots of technologies from other things.
Together, yeah.
And so as soon as they enter, they're in an anomaly for like, maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And they come out and they do a scanning and there's no life signs. Yeah. Like, holy crap, something must have happened on the ship. Mercer goes down with Finn and like that. They go to check it out and everyone is dead. So they find that captain guy that they're talking to and he's dead. He even has all his noodles all over his face and everything. And Dr. Finn scans him to see what was the cause of death thing. Is basically like a cardiac arrest. Like something must have happened when they entered that anomaly that caused the death of them. But everything else is fine.
Oh yeah.
So like all the ship is fine. There's no damage or anything. Just anything that was living is dead. So even when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, there must be some type of life-killing thing in there or something.
Yeah, the deflectors might have not been as strong as
like they weren't even because that part of the ship, that plant still died. So if the Orville would have passed through
all the way, maybe
they all would have been dead too. Yeah. That's what I would imagine would have happened. And it's kind of cool. You get to see Alara be super strong again. She's like carrying this giant metal crate. She just like puts it down. I can imagine how much that thing freaking weighs.
And they go and open it up, and there's a bunch of crow weapons. Like, oh crap!
Yeah, a lot of plasma rifles, and they're thinking, oh, either they stole these, they're gun runners, and whoever's looking for these weapons is going to show up.
Oh yeah.
So like now we're in a time crunch because if the Krills show up with our dead engines, they're nothing. We're going to get killed. There's no way we're going to be able to stop this. So they're like, okay, we need to figure out what's going on with this anomaly. Got to get the engines back on drive, and we got the hell out of here. So now we got that drama, that time crunch.
Yeah, and another thing also too early in the ship, Kelly let out that she might have helped Mercer get his job.
Yeah, because when they're like, oh man, Lamar's actually kind of Malloy.
It's Lamar.
Lamar.
Right.
He's like, yeah, he's really smart. Oh, I guess I made the right call. And he's like, yeah, and he's like, she kind of says like, oh yeah, you wouldn't be here if I didn't make the right call. And he's like, what are you talking about? She tries to play it off, but then she comes out and says, okay, I told the Admiral I gave you a kind of a glowing recommendation to give you this command. Yeah. And we all know Captain Mercer just hates kind of being like betrayed. He feels like he's always being betrayed by
all the time.
I didn't earn this. It was handed out to me. But even then, you've done so many great things as captain.
Yeah.
In such a short amount of time.
Exactly. He even talked to the Admiral and it goes, yeah, it was the right decision now. So who cares at the end of the day?
But Mercer just holds on to that.
Exactly.
Like it's that he makes all these right decisions, but he's so hard on himself.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of fun. I think I kind of see just a little of Seth MacFarlane in that idea that he's his hardest critic. And it kind of plays into his character, which is kind of cool.
Well, because he knows himself better than anyone else, so he reflects on it in his writing. But it's done in such a good way, though.
And then, Kelly's trying to explain to him, well, all I really did was give you a good recommendation and told him to give you a chance. And
I know you could do it, though.
Because I know you're capable.
Yeah.
Oh, it could have been someone else's command. And it's like, oh, geez, come on, Mercer, you're holding on too tight. You're being too rough.
Exactly.
And, and then, the whole idea isn't that how most people, it's who you know and getting recommendations to get jobs and stuff. It's not uncommon to help.
Even at their time,
it's like a normal thing. And it's like, and again, that's kind of paralleling what's happening with Malloy. He has all this. He's super smart, but he doesn't use it for anything.
No.
And then they even have like a little history lesson about money. Oh, and this guy, it's so funny. She's like, do you know what happened? Because it's Kelly talking to Malloy, and he's like, do you know how the money was, how it worked? He's like, oh, I knew people use it to buy houses and sandwiches. Yeah, that's the two things people buy. Houses and sandwiches. First one, then the other.
Yeah.
But she's like, well, once we got synthesis thing, the money went away.
Yeah.
So what people found value in is like your abilities and what you can do.
Yeah.
So if you were smart at something, if you were the best at doing something, that was our currency.
Yeah.
And he makes a good case saying, you know what, I just want a simple life. I don't want to have a command and have all that kind of stuff. But which is true. If someone doesn't want the position, it shouldn't really be forced on them. But at the same time, as someone's a commanding officer, you need to help them grow,
especially in outer space.
And how smart he is. He isn't just a little smart. He's actually really smart.
I mean, she even says he's on parallel almost with Isaac. That's how smart he is.
Yeah, he knows a lot about. He could be a head engineer easily. So, and she's kind of like, yeah, don't squander your talent. You have this amazing ability that you are smart like this. You can actually be a better, be more useful to the world. And they're both right.
Yeah.
You can't force someone to do it, but at the same time, you don't want to see someone waste the talent.
Exactly.
So I think that was a really good, and it's kind of same way with Captain Mercer. You already have the talent, but then you constantly have to be self-proving. You have it. Don't worry about it. You got this. But it's just one of those things where you just...
See, it goes against the grain of that word that when people want a constant reinforcement like they do with other shows, like...
He wants to enforce himself.
Yeah.
And that's a cool parallel. We got growth from two different characters that we already knew a lot about, and we're still getting good character growth.
It's awesome.
So they're starting to figure out, okay, what can we do? And those Krill ships are coming.
They're arriving, like they're going to be a roll right away.
3 of their battle cruisers. Yeah. Even if they had full engines, they couldn't fight 3 at a time. No way. They're dead. Yeah. Then, Lamar's thinking, hey, I got an idea, guys. We can enter that pocket, that doorway. and we can, hide out in there.
Yeah.
They're like, but didn't we just say that if we go in there, we'll all be freaking killed?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a pocket, a 2-dimensional pocket of space.
Yeah, but they don't know what they don't know. Okay, how we do this? So him and Isaac. Well, he comes up with the idea to make a bubble, basically, and Yampeg kind of gives some input on that.
Yeah, and they show them how they worked well as a team.
Yeah.
Even though Yampeg still was kind of irritated at the fact that he's the one
heading the investigation,
and he should be the lead because technically he was next in line.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, to save the day, they all worked together.
Yeah.
They weren't at each other's throats when it really mattered, which I really liked that. They showed them that they were an actual cohesive crew.
Yeah, and then it's funny because he listens to Malloy to say the advice to get to know the
Oh,
team.
yeah. There's a funny little scene because he's talking, he's like, because he has to go in there and, be the leader. And he's like, pacing outside and he's like, hey, he sees him, he's like, oh, I was a camp counselor, and before I you had a thing of gumdrops, and you're not allowed to eat the gumdrop until you tell something like special about yourself. Yeah. It's like, oh, it breaks the ice, he gets everything, so he tries to do it, but he's being a little too forceful with it.
Yeah.
And then the elevator guy, I don't know his name.
I don't either. It's kind of funny because he gives him one and he's always talking. He's just talking about everything. Okay, just one thing.
It's so funny because the makeup job is so cool. He's so alien looking, but he's such a normal sounding voice.
Yeah. Oh, I like pancakes. Furniture. I keep sometimes I feel like I'm part of the wood. Okay, shut up already.
You don't want to hear it anymore. And then Yampeg's like, we're wasting our time doing this.
So he throws the gun on the ground. Forget this. We got to analyze this anomaly. We got to do that.
It is true. And he's like, okay, everyone get to work. And then he's just like, he's kind of standing around. I think he was just so nervous. He thought, I gotta go out there and kind of be a little more forceful. Yeah. But it just came off as you're nervous, and then rightfully so because he doesn't like being in command. He doesn't like telling people what to do. So they figure out like you said, they all came together to come with the idea for this bubble.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, let's fingers crossed, let's enter this.
Because they're gonna try to hide from the krill.
As soon as they enter that anomaly, the krill show up. So they had not even a second.
Yeah.
So they're in there, and another thing I like about the Orville, the crew sees something, but as the audience, we don't see it. We're like, what do they see? What do they see? And they're like, oh my goodness, what is this? Then they show the reveal of like this dimension, and it's all like looks kind of like a circuit board.
A circuit board, like if you ever seen like the beginning animations of Tron, that's what it looks like. Like when you enter the
lots
Tron
of
world,
light and movement,
circuitry, and like lights going through, like little points of lights going everywhere.
And it's like first I'm like, oh, it looks kind of like it's very alien looking. Yeah. But again, like even Isaac's like, I have no idea even what we're looking at.
Yeah.
I imagine it's some type of civilization.
Yeah.
But even I don't know what this is.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this is a 2D flat civilization. Yeah. They don't have dimensions. The mark onto the hey, they're 2D and we're 3D, so it's a whole different.
Yeah, it's a completely different pocket dimension. Yeah. Even make the joke, and he's all like, is there other like 4 dimensions, like people watching us?
Yeah,
like,
more. Yeah.
When we're like in our beds, like under covers, dude, shut up.
Yeah, well, then the camera's okay. I'm ending this conversation. I'm not talking about this anymore, Molly.
Because if you think about it, there could be some alien race out there that's invisible to us.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. What are you supposed to do?
Exactly. You just have to live your life. You can't be worrying about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we can hang out here for a couple of hours. That'll give enough time for the krill ships to kind of go away. And then that's when, Kelly Mercer, she's trying to talk to him, and he's still butthurt about the whole situation. Yeah. And then she's trying to convey to him, you have already proven to everyone, all the emeralds, everyone back at command, believes in you.
She goes, I'm not going to say I'm sorry because I was right. I don't need to apologize.
Was I wrong in recommending you? Was I wrong in saying that you would be a great captain? Yeah. Apparently I was right.
Exactly.
And he's still kind of like, I have to prove it to myself. I'm going to second guess myself every time. And it's almost to the point where, well then, Mercer, that's your problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
That's what she's trying to tell him.
And she cares about him. She's like, I know I kind of messed up your life and you were already on the track to be captain. And if it wasn't for my speed bump and our divorce, you would have had it already.
Yep.
So I felt like I had to make it right. And she did. Yeah. And she made the right choice because he is a great captain. He is a good captain.
Very much so.
But during that whole time, like that quantum bubble they made starts to break down.
Oh yeah,
so everyone gets slammed to the ground and they're starting to become 2D. Yeah. Imagine your body becoming completely flat. Yeah, that sounds like a horrible way to die.
Oh, definitely.
But I guess Isaac's strong enough to kind of get back up and reconfigure
I got to when that happened. I wanted to see Lieutenant Katana if she could move.
She was done.
I don't think she could even move. That's how strong it was.
And the thing is, since Isaac is machinery,
I think he can move a little bit.
Because Katana, even though she's strong, she still has blood vessels and everything that were being flattened. So I don't think she can even actuate anything. So he gets it fixed up, and then everyone gets like basically getting nosebleeds because you're being squished.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, we're having a problem. Or the show's starting to deteriorate. We got to get out of here.
We got like 22 minutes.
Yeah, before complete quantum bubble
flying like
collapse.
a pancake.
Yeah, they're talking about the pancake thing. We're talking about pancakes.
That one guy again, that one alien. And there's also the thing we forgot. There's this other alien,
like a dinosaur-looking guy.
Yeah, that Mercer doesn't know his name, and he sees him.
And he's always like, "Hey, there he is."
And then it happens in the middle of the episode. Hey, there you are. Hey,
and he does the same fake smile. Oh, I laughed out loud because he just had like a heart-to-heart conversation with Kelly, and he's like, you know, what do you want me to do? He's all kind of really pissed off at her. Then he sees the one guy, hey, Captain, oh, there he is. He has that so stupid smile on his face. And it comes out of nowhere. The callback comedy is one of my favorite comedy. You plant the seed of a joke, and then way later...
The thing is, you don't think about it, and you see it, and that's what makes it funny.
Did he remember? Oh, yeah, he did talk about that.
That's funny.
And so they're like, whoa, we got a problem. The way we came in is gone.
Yeah.
So, like, holy crap, they got 22 minutes, or they're going to just
be flat.
Be killed.
And they can't even communicate with these people because to them, they probably don't even see them.
I don't even know if there is even a way of communication.
No, there isn't either way. And I don't think they even know they're there.
Because that bubble, I'm pretty sure, basically makes them invisible to them. So they kind of come up with the idea of using a shuttlecraft to tow them.
Yeah.
Because they go, let's soup up the tractor beam. We can kind of like a tugboat tugging a big cruise ship. And they're like, well, we can make that filled a small bubble within the ship. The ship itself will be flat, but then we'll make like basically like a mini pocket dimension where we'll still be in 3D.
Yep.
And then I bring up all these references. Oh, it'll be like this, like Doctor Who, or it's like a Snoopy's doghouse. Oh yeah, okay, Snoopy's doghouse.
That's what makes it funny. Though.
That's the most scientific explanation. Snoopy's doghouse. And it's like, okay, and then Lamar's like, okay, I need someone. I got to keep the filled up, and someone has to pilot. And then Borda's like, okay, I'll do it. And then Captain Mercer's like, no, I'm going to do this. And Kelly's like, no, that's so dangerous. You get chances of you dying is...
Right. It's about over 50-50.
And he's like, I got to do this. So he's, again, another time where he feels like he has to prove himself.
Yeah.
So they start to do it. They get in the thing, and then like, okay, when we get transferred to 2D space, it might be a little discomfort.
What I was saying, yeah.
And then as soon as he get through it, he cuts right back, and he's throwing up.
The Mars throwing up, not Mercer.
Yeah. He's like, I'm glad
okay? No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't show. You just see him like hunched over.
He did a Lieutenant Gaetan when she first got command. No, just throwing up everywhere.
Because for like a split second, their insides might have went, went flat for a second. And so they got the thing and it's working.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of technobabble and I love it.
Yeah.
I haven't had that in so long of smart people thinking of scientific ways to solve a problem.
I love the conference room because it's like that is so Star Trek when they're all in the conference talking about earlier in the episode. I love that. Give me that all day long.
And you have experts. You have Isaac. He's super smart. Then you have your head engineer guy. Yeah. You have the doctor talking about medical stuff. And it reminded me so much of the Next Generation Ready Room.
Oh, it was beautiful. I love seeing that again. A new episode of that.
And you can see why having a team of people is so important because we all bring something to the table. Yeah. Literally something to the table.
Especially in this situation, you need your best people in the best situations.
And I even mentioned this while we're watching the episode. I'm like, you couldn't see this scene happening in Discovery.
No.
Imagine everyone getting together and talking about something without being belittling each other. It just wouldn't exist.
No.
And it would seem so out of place in Discovery.
Oh, it would be odd.
But it fits right in here. This whole scene could have happened in Next Generation, and it would make perfect sense.
Oh, by far. So,
I just love a science answer. It wasn't always about boom, boom, shoot it up. It's like, okay, let's figure out a scientific way to do this. And And so they're towing him out. They're towing him out, but then the shuttlecraft's starting their shield's starting to deteriorate. And then Mercer's like, I'm going to go to quantum speed. And then he's like, well, you do that, I'm not going to be able to get the shield up. Well, we're going to die anyways. Yeah. We got to get out of here. So it's like that crunch for time. Yeah. So they hit it. They get out of the...
Yeah. But also, even a little bit before that, as they're going through it, he finally asks him how he wanted to be engineer. And he goes, because he was born on a farm colony, basically. And they don't value intelligence there. So he wanted to fit in.
And he did make a good point. You know how fast you can make enemies when you're always right. Yeah. Oh, there's this smart guy. Oh, he thinks he knows everything. Well, he kind of does. Yeah. And, kind of, I don't know if they're kind of making a slight at, rednecky type people where, oh, here comes an egghead.
Yeah, but it's everything. But it's so obscure. I don't see it that way, but yeah.
So you can understand why he was so... He didn't want to get to... He would hide his smarts.
Yeah, Mercer says, if we survive this, I'm making you engineer.
I'm offering it to
you. You can do this.
Because you came up with all these ideas. Yeah. He helped... He didn't do it all by himself with Isaac and Yampik and the rest of the crew. Yeah. It was a team effort, but he was the head of it. Yep. So, which I like that. I like showing teams work together. Yep. Because that's what the future should be. All of us working together. So it's starting to collapse. They're hauling butt to get out of there.
Yeah.
They get out of there. And thank goodness the krill are gone. Because imagine if they were still
I was thinking, maybe the krill still might be there. I don't know.
And so they get out of there, and they're not too far away from where they entered.
No.
And Kelly's like, contact the shuttle, see if they're okay. And they contact them, and then they have it's like a bunch of like napkins in their noses because of all the nose
bleeding.
bleeds.
Like, you get a nosebleed in the car.
Yeah, so they're all just like kind of sitting there, so everything is good.
That's funny.
And, they get back to the ship, and then you get a little moment with Kelly and Mercer, and he's like, you know what? I was wrong. You were right. Being helped isn't bad. You were right in trusting me, and I gotta trust myself.
Exactly.
And he gives her like a little kiss on the cheek,
like a platonic kiss on the cheek. Like saying thank you, for helping.
Because they were intimate before, and it was. I think that meant so much to Kelly.
Oh yeah.
And I think Mercer grew a lot. Lamar grew a ton in this episode.
Oh, by far.
And so he shows him he's walking into the engineering bay, and he's the head engineer. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
He fits in there. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to miss him, though, on the bridge, though, with Malloy, because they were such a good tandem together with the jokes, but it could still happen in other times.
Another great episode. Fun, scientific answers to things.
Oh, yeah.
We have had almost every type of episode in the Orville, and they're all good episodes.
Oh, they're excellent. They're not been a bad episode yet.
Yeah, I'm on the search for the bad episode.
Even the Colony episode, if you want to get super, super picky, is maybe a 7.9.
Yeah.
And that's still good.
That's my least favorite episode.
That's still a B almost.
But I didn't feel like it was awful or horrible.
No.
So, and again, we do have to bring this up. In the next episode is the season finale, and in the little preview, they kind of allude to somebody dying.
I hope.
I love all these characters. I don't want anyone to die.
No,
but it kind of alludes to it. If someone had to die,
imagine if it's a cliffhanger and we don't find out until next year. I'll be so mad.
Awful.
I'll be so mad. I cannot forgive them if they do that to me because I love all these characters.
I'm trying to think. Who could it be? I don't even want to think about it. Because Lamar just got his command. He got promoted.
I don't think it's going to be Lamar.
I don't think...
Or Catan. I think they're too popular.
I'm trying to think.
What if it was Isaac?
Oh, man. That would break...
Yeah, I know. That's Isaac. Your favorite character.
I love Isaac.
I don't want Boris as my favorite
character. I don't want Catan to die.
I don't want Boris to die.
Maybe like a Yam pick?
That would suck. I like me pick in his own kind of way.
But maybe he does like a self-sacrifice, because that's what it kind of alludes to that being, and there's a sacrifice. Somebody had to die. Man, I don't want... And it's funny, this is 12 episodes. I'm already connected to these characters.
I feel like I've known them for years. It's only been... This show came out in September. Okay?
Ridiculous, right?
So say, September, October, November, December, 4 months. Well, not less than 4 months, and I'm hooked. I love these characters. I want to see more. I'm mad we're only getting one more episode. We're not getting that 13th episode.
Yeah, it's going to be episode 1 of season 2, which is lame.
Terribly lame.
Again, I love that, like you said, I like the dynamic of Lamar and Malloy.
Yeah.
Malloy dies?
No.
Oh, no. But someone... I'm bringing the question, somebody has to die. You have to pick
I know what I hate to say it, honestly, even though I do care, I think I like her as an actress. Kelly. I would not... That wouldn't bother me as much.
It would kind of break my heart seeing how her and Mercer kind of grew a little bit closer at the end of this episode to have her die. But but remember, she's the one saying your sacrifice will be forgotten. So it can't be her. So she's talking to somebody else, so it can't be her.
But the characters are all so popular. I think what's going to happen? You think they die and they don't die.
Oh, but we're playing devil's advocate of if somebody had to die. Catan dying. Man.
See, that would be the time to kill off that engineer.
Have him die there.
Yeah, that engineer, before he leaves, he dies.
Yeah, because I guess I didn't mention it. He left. He's going to design a space station.
And he's just a funny joke, I'll be drinking all the time, Yeah. And then the captain's like, no, I don't know.
He's like, oh, could you imagine? He's like, oh, no. Don't do that. You're going to get fired.
That's funny.
But man, that seems like such a heavy topic. The doctor, maybe Dr. Finn has to go down there and do something, and she dies.
She has those 2 kids.
I know. There's so much.
Isaac becomes a new dad now.
Yeah, it shows him he adopts the children.
That'd be funny.
So man, I'm asking the audience out here too, you guys. So you have to pick someone to die. Who would it be? Man,
I say Kelly, but I don't think she does.
In the way that it was presented to us, she's talking to someone else.
Exactly.
Catan, man. I guess I'd have to pick.
What if just be like her assistant, that one guy?
Yeah, or something.
And then like that, like, okay, well, I didn't really know him. I mean, what's the other guy that's in the space shuttle? The other guy?
Yeah, it's the dinosaur face guy. Yeah, hey, there he is.
Hey, guy.
He's that fake, BS smile. So, wow.
Another thing I wondered too. So I'm assuming the Crow got their ship back and their guns back because they just left that ship there.
Oh yeah, I mean they kind of
at that point, so they just got their stuff back. So I mean,
and you know what's funny? They didn't show it and they didn't say yes or no. Maybe they did take the guns off the ship and just brought it back.
Maybe, but
maybe
at
not.
That point, I mean,
who cares?
I didn't mean to analyze it. Maybe they're not going to use them.
And I like the fact that they were interested in this anomaly. Science stuff of exploration.
Captain Lorca could care less.
Yeah, if Captain Lorca from the Discovery came upon this anomaly, I don't give a crap. I'm going to blow things up. That's what would have been the end of that.
Yeah, he doesn't care about life forms. Unless he can use them or exploit them in some way.
So, if you had to say anything bad about the episode, the 2D world looked weird, but I guess it would look weird, right?
Yeah.
It would look... I don't want to say generic.
That's just said Tron. That's what I first saw Tron, the intro.
Like a super colorful Tron.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I had a complaint, I'd say I didn't like the way it looked, but again, it's supposed to be alien and weird, so it's not supposed to look good.
Another thing I was talking about before, but we weren't even going to get to that part yet in the episode, is when Yampeg complained. It was funny.
Yeah, he goes in there and he starts complaining.
You don't do it because I'm a Jalapeno person. That's why I didn't get the job.
You guys are racist. You're all racist.
That's so funny.
It's just one of those. It's funny. It's a commentary on us because, it's trying to say like, well, he picked like a black guy to beat the head engineer, but then he's calling racism. Well, it's usually isn't it the other way around?
That's what makes it funny. Yeah, that's the whole situation. That was funny. I like that little part.
But do you think Kelly was right in pushing him so hard to use his smarts?
Yes, in the end, and realize she keeps telling Mercer, "Trust me, I got your back. I got, like he said, you got my back," and now he realizes it. Trust your instincts.
She made the right call on picking the new head engineer, and it's kind of one of those funny things. She even She seems to read people better than Mercer. That's what makes him such a good team. A good first officer and captain should have talents that match, but also have different talents.
Yeah, because Mercer's more the guy who can figure out like a big situation, but she's the one that can do the personal.
Yeah,
and then how that piece can go into the team and make it better.
Yeah, which all I think the whole concept of having a team and working together for a goal. Smooth. I love it. I love that in my science fiction where we have groups of people from all different diverse places. We have aliens. Yeah. We have people who grew up differently in colonies on Earth, and they're all coming together to move forward to advance
what
humanity.
Star Trek used to be.
Yeah, what the Trek used to stand for instead of bang, bang, blow them up, blow everything up.
Not Star Wars, sorry. Even though I love Star Wars, but I'm not
that's fine for Star Wars. I don't want it in my Trek. I want scientific stuff in Trek. Definitely. So, wow, to wrap it up, I mean, the jokes were funny. The character development was great.
Oh, awesome. One thing I also noticed, too, observing, when Yampeg first went to the medical thing, there was no at all. I mean, he didn't do any of that. I wonder if then, when the fact that Finn pulled that gun on him, he's like, I don't know now.
I just think he realized, that really wasn't her. She was being controlled, so maybe he's kind of going to back off.
Got over it now. Yeah, I kind of like that.
Oh, there was also a funny little reference when they're on the bridge. Lamore's like, I want to. We can get a cat, on the bridge. It'd be a bridge cat. Like he gets to have a cat walking around the bridge, and then Isaac was talking about, why would that help?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a companionship, and maybe you should get a cat.
Because he's a cat and then furry, and you get all that, and then Isaac goes up to him and starts petting him.
Because he sees humans as that lesser
life
species.
Form. It's like, is this better?
But was that a call out to Data? Because Data had a cat.
Yeah, Spot. Yeah.
So then he told Isaac, "Oh, why don't you get a cat? How cool would that be if he ends up getting a cat just like Data?" I love that stuff.
People would just say that. So
I love that stupid crap. I love that little call out to Next Generation. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so too.
So I'm going to wrap it up. I mean, another fun, great episode.
Yeah. But I feel kind of bad for people that made their cosplays for Lamar and they have to get the extra thing now.
Yeah, he changed it up.
I just never commander now. Dang it, I got to change that, get an extra thing.
I did poke around the internet and saw that there's people who do make costumes and they do sell the patches and everything. Oh, yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, do I invest that kind of money? But that's a completely different topic.
Oh yeah, cool. I mean, believe me, I would love to, but it's be so expensive.
Yeah, there's so many other other things take priority. But one more episode.
Which I'm just I can't believe it. Ugh.
It's kind of like I love this show, and that big gap might get people to forget. And then when it comes back on, like, oh yeah, that show I remember from 9 months ago.
And the problem is, it can't ever catch to where it was. The match has been lit. I don't want it to be extinguished. It's there now. Let's not. Why doesn't Fox put new episodes like in June or April, May?
Give me maybe something like a novel, maybe a digital comic, something to keep the ball rolling.
Heck, I'll even do a motion comic at this point. Something.
Don't let the fire die. It needs some more. Throw a couple logs on the fire. Let this fire burn. Don't let it extinguish
and guarantee it. This isn't coming from McFarlane's end. I know he's pushing this. He's like, guys, you gotta keep this going. This is Fox. Guys, come on, let's not let this die. I mean, you're gonna wait till September?
Jeez Louise.
That's 9 months from now.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode. Unless you have anything else, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Let's see. Boris being Boris.
Yeah. He's just that deadpan. Like after the surgery, he just gets up and walks out. I know, right? He just gets out of there.
Like, what's a cat? Oh, I don't know what a cat is.
It's an animal. You know, like what?
I want to see more here and more in Clyde. They haven't seen that interaction yet. It's funny.
We saw the last time we saw him was when they were talking about why do people have children and get married, and that was a little.
That was kind of funny. All he does is eat.
Yeah. The baby never stops crying. Clyde never stops eating.
And we're not having relations. What's going on?
Why do we do this?
That's funny. I love it.
They're more, again, to show that relationships are universal in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, I can't say it enough. We are still searching for the bad episode. That was that was awful and unwatchable.
Well, just by that trailer, there isn't going to be one this season.
Yep, this looks like another it was getting season finale type episode. Even though technically it wasn't supposed to be the season finale. Maybe they swapped episodes. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I know. Because there was a rumor there was going to be a certain person that was going to be in the last episode, and it gets me mad that we might not see it until next season.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Again, keep watching the Orville. It's great. We love your comments.
Oh, yeah, keep them coming. And we have a Twitter now.
I did set up an official Twitter. I have it on the beginning of the episodes in text. But it's C15 Podcast that's their handle at Twitter. Yeah. And we're going to be posting whenever we're doing videos. Everything's just related just to the podcast.
Yep.
So we're not going to follow anyone or anything like that. It would be
That's not what it's about.
So hit up the Twitter. So if you guys want notifications right away through Twitter, through YouTube, you have 2 different places to find it.
Yep.
So thanks for watching. I've been your host, Crimson.
Mifty, PCA.